which is not very practical for consumer or industrial application. An interesting concept, but um, yeah, unless you want to cook something.
Yeah,
Well, fair enough.
but whatever. Whatever. Like I said, I don't want to. I'm not about. It's just whatever. I'm just saying. This competition between Edison and Tesla, I just think is pointless. They both
Yeah, they're
deserve,
both dead now. I think, yeah.
and they both deserve their due. I mean, it's like Franklin. I mean, he came up with a lot of shit. Made a hell of a contribution. We don't really need to be bad mouthing people like that.
He was a fucking dick. He exploited young engineers. Yeah, he was a dick.
Whatever. Compared to what and blah 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 blah. Compared to what, Ford? I mean, Edison could have been personally hugely wealthy, and he wasn't. Okay, because he put his money back into his business. So at least in that respect, he didn't waste money on the Edison mansion.
No, he continued to invest in his business, but he created a model which still remains today for most engineering companies. And that was to hire a bunch of engineers at salary, work them to death, and rake in all the profits after patenting everything that they design. Not engaging in profit sharing at all or giving any incentive to work harder. He was the one who created companies like Microsoft and Boeing, where we have a bunch of dissatisfied,
No, he did
lazy
not
engineers.
create a public company that paid shareholders and made a bunch of people wealthy. He didn't do that. He created a company that invented a lot of products. Jeez. I mean, he was not a fucking cliche capitalist.
Gambrinus, are you an engineer perchance? That's awesome. I think that engineering is incredibly cool. Like, I was talking to a guy who's in engineering just the other night about shit. It was great.
I'm I'm in software engineering now, and it's pretty dull. My brother works. My brother in electrical engineering, and he works for Electro Impact EI. Um, and so just a couple blocks from where I live. It's pretty cool. I go in there occasionally and help him out with shit, but I'm not paid. But it's neat to work on like wing rotator assemblies for the next generation space shuttles. But yeah.
Yeah, well, that's the good thing about it. I mean, my father was an engineer. He worked for LI Chemical for 40 years. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's interesting shit. You go look and see what they're fucking working on, and it's really interesting. Um, but yeah, and I worked for a little while in a company that made industrial machines, and so I was sort of doing engineering, so it was fun. Um, so yeah, but I mean, I'm not for people. I'm not for people being exploited. But I'm just saying, for the time Edison existed, he was not a regressive, capitalistic, cruddy human being. He was a person who did talk about having a bit of humanity and being a decent human being. So I'm just saying he wasn't this. He wasn't. He wasn't. He wasn't somebody you'd put in the same category. I mean, he might have hung out with Ford. He might have had dinners with him. He might have had a dinner at the White House now and then. But he wasn't a fucking cliche capitalist.
No, I'm not saying it was as bad as Ford or that he was Daniel Plainsview from There Will Be Blood, but he was still a dick, and he created a corporate environment that still exists today that breeds laziness, that breeds ineptitude, that creates what we see in consumer electronics. And that's a shitty fucking product because you have a workforce who is not at all interested in making something that functions. They're interested in receiving their paycheck at the end of the day.
Yeah, whatever. I don't think that's what he did. So fine, whatever. Blah blah blah. We'll disagree on that one. I mean, he didn't even exploit the moving picture studio thing. All the technology he developed in that area, he did nothing with. But maybe that was just lack of vision or something. But I mean, the bottom line is I mean, he wasn't, he wasn't trying to exploit everything. Ah, there we go. Life sucks. That's the subject I like. Yep, it does. It sucks so bad. Yeah. Yeah. Sucks all the way to its shoes. Let's see. Rock Boy. Well, 1, 2, 2, 3. Rock Boy. Oh, that's hilarious. I just kick him for his name. It's just so funny. Rock Boy. Hmm. Unkickable. Wow, it took a long time. That was a real delay kick. Hmm. Yeah, I'm so sorry. I'm just, you could at least be a rock man, rock boy. It's like so lame. Bat boy. Yeah, it just doesn't work. Bat boy and Robin man. Yeah, yeah, it just wouldn't work. Oh, she's smoking a cigarette. Oh, God, it's killing me. I want a cigarette. It's fucking electronic shit. Ah, the French guy. Yay. I've been eating my fruit lately. Got some cheap apples. So I've been eating apples. Apples, 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 apples.
I have an idea,
Apples
Gary.
yeah.
I make you to afford fruits. I will send you. I think I will send you my products that are dehydrated, but it's fruits products, chestnuts and apples to make milk. Chestnuts and nashies. It's a sort of apple and pear between, something between, and mangoes and bananas. That's a new product, milk with chestnuts and all these fruits. I will send you a sample of the soups also, and so you can find perhaps something that you like, and after I will send it to you in a big container for 1 year or so. And it's not it's not the best to eat like this. The best is to eat fruits. And so I have the idea to make a channel on YouTube, Fruits for Everyone, and find there people that come together and spend perhaps each one $30 a month to send it to a personality that we find his work is worth to support. And you are the first who can beneficiate from this program. I already found a second person that is willing to send you a part of for this thing to buy your fruits. You can buy your fruits. What do you think about that?
Yeah, well, look, I'm all for kind of supporting the idea of it. So, I mean, I like the idea, but don't spend, I don't want you to spend a whole bunch of money. So just send me the dried soup or something like that. But don't bother with the milk. I could live without the contrived milk idea. That doesn't sound too good. Nut milk. Yeah, just ooh, yuck.
No. I don't know if you understood, because the dried things are, you put the water on it and it makes a milk, you know. It's not the cow milk, it's vegetable milk.
Yeah, I
It's
know.
something to drink that nourishes you. Hmm?
Yeah, I'm just saying the idea of soup would be better. Something vegetable, you know, that turns into soup. Soup is okay. Milk is so we'll just call it soup instead of milk, and then I'll be okay. So it can be the same thing. You just
Okay.
call it
Yeah.
soup. Yeah.
Hey,
It's like
Okay.
hey,
You'll do that, yes.
Mr. French guy, have you ever eaten hemp seeds before? I've heard that those are actually like super healthy and stuff.
Hemp seeds, I tried it, yes. But seeds are not the best food choice. There are not even
yeah, got
secondary
lots of
seeds
poisons
are
in them.
for birds.
Yeah, seeds
Yes,
have a
they
lot
are
of
for the
poison, a
birds,
lot of arsenic
and
and shit.
I have in my
they protect themselves to not be eaten.
I have in my fridge right now like a carton of what's called hemp milk, and it's actually a really, really good source of omega-3 and 6.
What's it made out of though? It's not just ground seeds, right?
I think it's an extract. I'm not entirely sure. I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
Yeah, it comes from hemp oil.
Like that with I guess it's like that with a lot of seeds. I mean, the part of the seed is the energy part, you know, that has the oil in it, and so if you can extract that without extracting all the, as the French guy was saying, seeds usually have defense mechanisms built into them, and some of those defense mechanisms are poisons. So you got to be a little careful. But yeah, no, so it's doable though. I mean, to get the good part out of a seed. But I guess it just depends on how well they crush, or whatever the right word for it is. I guess olives are like that. You know, it's only the pit that's really bad. So it's the flesh around the. I guess it's the pit covered as the olive. You know, and that's where you're getting all the good stuff from. But I guess that's the way it's made. Is, you know, that's the part that's supposed to be edible. Yeah, I just imagine it would take a hell of a lot of little hemp seeds before you could actually, you know, make a glass of something. I mean, it doesn't sound very practical to me.
You know, I don't know. I don't know what the process is for processing hemp seeds into milk. I kind of want to read about that now.
Yeah, I mean the plants produce a lot of seeds, but still, it still sounds a little flaky. You know, it just doesn't sound terribly practical. I mean they're hard seed, and I don't know, they're small, and so I don't know.
Oh, actually, yeah, they just grind them up into water and boom, there it goes, apparently.
A calorie itself doesn't necessarily equate to energy. It essentially means how fast the fat burns, how quickly it does. Uh, Energy can come from many sources.
Well, I mean a calorie though is the specific for
Yeah.
what you can pull out of it, so it's like a BTU. You know what I mean? Something.
Yeah, I'm not the best at articulating, so thank you for explaining that.